Hello everyone. Hello Delvertje. Good evening. Good evening everyone. Hi Rita. Welcome. Hello Alice. Whoa! Hey! Hey! It's working! My rate! Wow! Hey! Wow! Barry! Fantastic! Rated! A big surprise! Yeah! Wow! Welcome everyone! And the alert worked. I liked it, the animation. Welcome everyone. I just got rated. Hey. Welcome everyone. Are there people who might not know me yet or already know me? Let's introduce yourself in the chat. Barry, shout out to Barry. Yeah, it was. Yeah, for you? Oh gosh. Oh boy. What happened? Or was it a question? When it was live, the stream of a protest ended. So here we are. Ah, okay. Well, yeah, I'm always happy with being rated, of course. And shout out to Barry. And I'm now searching for my channels because I was about to begin. So, hey Yvonne, welcome. Was it a protest in the Netherlands? Thanks. Barry did a shout out to himself, but that's better, that's far quicker. Welcome everyone. First put off a certain streamer. Well, the Tuesday evening, it's the English live stream, so everyone who maybe from the Raiders don't know me yet, almost every Tuesday I do an English spoken and each Saturday in Dutch. And there is an exception because in coming weeks I will hear from in a few hours about danadurnford, and he will be coming for part 4. So, well, welcome. Yeah, and I tried to go live on Afrika TV, and then I got a warning that I'm only allowed to go live in Korea. So I let go. I'm not sure if I'm live there, but welcome everyone. And I'm so happy that the animation worked for the rating. Yeah. I'm so happy, Barry, that it worked finally one time with you, that you're entering with all these raiders. Oh, it's okay. Korea under 45 speak English. Well, a lot. Yeah. Well, I got restricted, so I was not allowed to stream, and I am not live there. Or maybe someone can check, but I don't think I'm live there. But that's not so important. I'm currently not streaming, so run with Swith. Let me see. Yeah, takes too much trouble. Yeah, I couldn't find you either, Barry. So, okay, that's all right, everyone. Well, I let go. I got a stream with net. Well, yeah, maybe just of recent, because last time I could stream with Afrika TV. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I let go. Otherwise, it will be yeah. It's not so important. Okay, well, for this evening, yeah, and I always start, of course, with deprogramming. I call it almost with a certain irony, the perks of deprogramming. Well, not really, of course, because perks are advantages and voordelen in Nederlands. Perks and not really, so I meant it a bit ironically, like that I bumped with the deprogramming actually yesterday already, but yeah, I will make a summary of my deprogramming, and I see my ring light is a bit too bright. Wait, maybe I can change it. I'm not sure if I can change it. Well, it's about to get dark here, so let's see how it goes. I will let go of that Afrika TV. So again, welcome everyone. If all works fine, then I am also live on my second YouTube channel, my only English channel on Monique Wallace 2. And I have to check that as well. Oh, and Trovo, of course, that I am live there. Wait, okay. Well, I hope I'm live on Trovo as well. I'm live, okay. Your aura, a spiritual neighbor, is okay, Monique. Okay. Oh, that's nice to know, because, well, I dealt with a lot again. Well, I'm dealing with a lot again, so. Delvertje, I read today, I actually come from Ironica by the Sea of Sarcastic. And that's a great playing with words. I will now, yeah, I am live on, yeah, I'm live also on my YouTube channel. Well, welcome everyone there. Well, to start with last couple of days, well, in the deprogramming, I almost every live stream I need to update you, of course, about my deprogram, because a lot of times when I don't express what happened to me in my deprogramming, well, then I cannot even do a live stream. But actually, I was on the verge of should I go live or not. And I know I say that a lot of times lately, but it was again for me a confrontation, because as you know, I have my core freed and my core. Well, if there are people new to the whole subject of MKUltra, please let me know. Or watch my earlier live streams, and my full playlists are on my YouTube channel and on Twitch, you can find with keywords and so on. But if I have to make a whole summary about my deprogramming journey, then every week that summary needs to become longer and longer. So, well, that takes too long time. So I hope for your understanding. And otherwise, let me know in the chat if you don't understand a term or a certain word. And always people are in the chat also with a helping hand and even with translating. And that counts for as well for the people who don't like to listen to English. On YouTube you can even put the Dutch subtitles or your own country preference while I'm live. And I think that's a wonderful feature on YouTube. So thanks Perry that I'm live on YouTube as well on my English channel. So my core is above my crown chakra, and well, as you know, I do feel how strongly I grow, and I feel that too with going into the world, and I'm easier in going into the world with my story, and I'm enjoying a lot of the live streams. There is a big but, because last couple of days I came across another layer, and what I found out this afternoon was, or late afternoon, actually only a few hours ago, when I did a walk to let go and then to concentrate on the live stream. And that is a system which came to the surface because of these transformed 212 personalities. Well, there appears underneath another system, yeah, so I dug up even, can I say deeper system, and I know it's maybe hard to follow by now. Every week I say I have a new system to deal with. And despite that I have my core above my crown chakra, which I do feel, and I mentioned already in the live streams how I uncovered and discovered all layers of love, and that I freed my self-love, and in all levels can love and can be loved, and that is an incredible immense beautiful process what I came across, and that my feeling increased. But it was so confronting and frustrating to find out that I have now on the bottom, how can I say that? I do say deeper level of personality grids. Personality grids are the simplest said in a way of that they are, for example, each an own city with tens of thousands of inhabitants, civilians who live there in that city, but they don't know each other, because in a city you cannot know everybody. So, and then you have to think of my system of multiple cities who live together but don't know each other. And then there are layers, like literally in a building or in the skyscrapers. And each layer of the skyscraper, for example, is a layer of my inner world map layers. It's like a 3D chessboard. I want to talk about that as well, about the chessboard layers in me. Because it is connected to what I'm dealing with now, again, layers with eating disorders. And I'm very open for that, because I think it's also important to be open about that, because eating disorders, dus eetstoornissen, eating disorders is all about not showing yourself who you really are from within. And a lot of times with eating disorders, in my case, is that it was and is connected to layers who don't want to feel and want to be totally distant from feeling and daily life. So, and this layer you have to think of that skyscraper, to come back to that again, and that's then a world map with several cities all now knowing, and I have now integrated layer after layer after layer after layer. So literally I got deeper, 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 and I dug up my core, my wezenkern, and it is above my crown chakra. But now I discovered another system which is totally new to me. Completely new. So how did that go? Well, yesterday I felt, actually that started already Sunday, like majority of times it's a reaction on what I did in last live stream of Saturday, when I was talking about graphic details. And for everyone who is interested in getting in detail the subject death, and with all death stages and what I had to come across in programming, then I would say listen or watch that show of last Saturday, or the English one of last Tuesday. For today I will not mention too many graphic details, but specifically to come back to this layer now, that I from Sunday bumped into so tired, and the majority of layers which appear to come to the surface are most of the times introducing themselves by non-feeling, or that I feel incredibly down. So you can say I was depressed, incredibly depressed. And not me, but I know then that's a layer, and that is my experience by now, that I know that it is that it's a layer which announces itself again. But it was because of Saturday evening, it was such a tough live stream to do, and at the same time, I want to express that how I love you all for being there. Also that Tuesday a week ago, how much I feel seen in and being believed, and I get personal messages and mails from people who support me and believe me, and I'm deeply touched, but also by your presence and just being here in these live streams. But by being believed, you can imagine that then my heart is being touched and my soul, but then also, of course, it triggers deeper layers. And I was so graphic last week in these two live streams, that fortunately I am now digging up this new system, but I have to go through then such a deep way of then I have literally to talk to myself and say to myself, Monique, come on, I have been through already so many layers, uncountable. Well, the majority of you know that I'm specifically from 2010, I'm deprogramming from the MKUltra, and already from 2000 from the heavy sexual abuse in all kinds of experiences. So I have a hard time to then, maybe you can imagine, it's hard to every time again be courageous enough and having to want it to go again facing a new layer. And I have to, because maybe this one is the layer that I'm totally free. And the side track of the deprogramming is that I'm so longing to have all my military basic fundamental programming as well in the here and now. Another example for that some new layer was coming to the surface was, for example, that I have contact with someone who I am trying out an app which is about aviation, and I can then have with airplanes and so on, and also military airplanes, and I still want to do a live stream with that app, with that program, but I cannot reach my inner navigation military parts. And while I know about these things, because sometimes I see coordinates, for example, or I hear the word ascend or descend, or I hear, for example, bravo, bravo, foxy, bravo, bravo, or something. So I know that I did fly some planes and also in space. So I am also craving to dig up these memories. And I say hello to everyone. Hello, Foxy86. Have you ever seen an alien in this dimension? Well, in this dimension, if you mean here and now, yes, I did. Yes. Hello, Spondev. No, that's totally fine, Foxy86. Maybe 86. I said something else. That was a misspoken. I will go back to my thread of story. So, but I think it is related to what I now dug up. But last week, I had a communication with this person who is with the creator of this app, and it's from AVR Labs. And I'm not being paid or anything. No, it's pure because, this creator I happen to have contact with, and he supports me and my traumas, and so I honor him by also mentioning this the energy feels so great, so that is why I mention it. But I had contact, and what happened was that I suddenly started to freak out because I was scared of that I lost some details in that app. So I totally freaked out, and then I realized only Saturday morning that I looked back in details what really happened in that correspondence, and that it was an here and now correspondence. But in this energy I am now in, or I'm now coming out of, because I worked on that, of course, with my inner process, was so totally freaked out by fearful of, I communicated something totally what is not here and now. And that is creating confusion. In personality layers, in personality systems, in all these layers I went through, there was a lot of personalities who also were meant to make me confused in time, or in awareness of, or making me forget. I did mention many examples already about that. For example, about clothings, or that I wore clothings and I suddenly realized, like, I don't like these clothings, I don't want to wear them, or why did I wear these clothings? And that is because all these personalities live their own programming and their own life. Well, I talk about that a lot of times in these live streams. But I was altogether last couple of days totally again so depressed and feeling down, and I had a feeling the eating disorders, which is a little monster monster from within, who tried to grab again more space inside of me, and that is such a hard fight. And for the people who went through that and healed, and it is possible to heal from eating disorders, but in me it's all programming. So I found out that after these 212, I now integrated in last couple of weeks, that I now bumped into another system. Well, who was that? That system looked like, it's literally like that I come deeper and that I saw a surface, so with my inner eye, and then I see it literally as an inner image. And that image looks like that I'm at the bottom of, well, you can make that example of that I'm at the bottom of the ocean, and that it's then a sandy surface. And in that sandy surface, I saw like four, I should have looked it up, but a kind of carousel, but with 4 parts, so that you could stand behind it and that you can then move that device. Another example is these doors where you can walk in, and then these, how do you call that, these doors? Maybe the people from abroad know that word. I forgot that word, but if in buildings of business buildings you have that, then you walk inside the klapdeur. Yeah, how is it called? Well, it is like a device which you walk against it, then you go one section further. I'm sorry for this a chaotic description, but that happens when I'm hitting a new system. Then I forget sometimes terms of some words and so on. And I'm sorry about that. I know I'm not dumb, but yeah, that happens. So yeah, the people who know me know that this happens pretty often, I must say. I wear now a bit imaginative cone of shame. That's what you. That is what happens now. Oh my gosh. Jos, do you have a name in your MKUltra that louds like Alicia? Well, I had an Alicia. There was a name, but that was a daughter I had, and that was a certain Alicia, and that Alicia was born in Africa. So. Yeah, I had many children, and I say that laughing, but yeah, I'm very also open about that. So, hello, Nobby Noble. Good evening from beautiful England. So I will continue this thread of the deprogramming story. So at the bottom of this surface, then in 4 quarters that device, and only 2 of them are revealed, and they were connected until very recent, until I dug it up, with the eating disorder programming. And that eating disorder programming, there are only 2 sections now freed, and they were connected to bread and cheese, eating bread and cheese. And the other segment, a quarter of a full circle, was, so I have 2 circles now to the surface, and that other one was connected to manna. And manna is another word for, I think it's from Hebrew or from the Bible. I'm not sure, but manna is, of course, connected also to rice. And this manna section, this manna quarter piece, was related to the Asian food and Chinese food. My programmers were very inventive, and I know already in all these years that I was dealing with eating disorders, that, but also in my front life, that I know that my eating habits changed so often. So then I was eating almost nothing. Then I ate a bit of Asian food and then a bit of Chinese food. And when I was younger, it was a very chaotic life because the majority of the food what I then was preparing myself or then got with a Chinese restaurant or Asian restaurant, then that was only a tiny bit what I ate, or I tried to get rid of it in certain ways of which I feel too ashamed to talk about. But one of them was by taking diuretics, and that helped me pee, and then also somehow it helped also to keep me slim. So I was totally obsessed with not getting too obese and so on. And in later years of the deprogramming, specifically last couple of years, that I am very much into, that I gotten more chubbier, and because I healed from the eating disorders in the physical way, then there's always a time when you're healing for eating disorders, then the first reaction of the body is to blow up. So I withheld some fluids and so on, and I had a hard time with feeling that way, and now lately I have it again that I at night cannot sleep because then I feel my body is too heavy for what I am naturally dealt with always. So that's very hard to explain. It feels unnatural to me to be so bloated and so on. But I lived for so incredible a lot of times with these eating disorders, and so now I discovered and uncovered this system, and only a few hours before I went live, then we talked again with that inner personality, which is done with my dear friend here, who helps me already for now so incredible lot. And I said to her after the session, like, I don't think I have energy to even go live, and this is maybe why I look very tired, and I am tired. So if I choose to stop early tonight, then that is just because I'm too tired. But I felt supported by energy before I went live, so that is then always the case. I'm always get helped and motivated to go live. And I will grab my tea, by the way, before it's too cold again. So I take a breather with getting my tea. One moment, please. Oh, I have my little table too far away, but I will manage that in the break. So. Swing door. Oh, Yvonne, thank you so much for the translation. Nobby Noble. No, I will call you Nobby, okay? But it's a beautiful name, Nobby Noble. I eat the Russian diet of 1-year-old cow with their extracted peptides daily with herbs. Very natural, no pharma, no chemicals. Yeah, that sounds great. That is, and specifically if you feel good with it. And I think the most important for food is that it's good quality. That is my opinion. And I'm the majority. I am vegetarian, but for me, but I do eat once in a while fish. So it is what feels right. But I think it's most important is the quality. I think organic. That's my name, Nobby Noble. Well, it is a beautiful name. So, it's a beautiful name. Yeah, so now I'm dealing with that digesting of this new system, and that I felt like, do I still... Thank you so much for your beautiful hearts, Delvertje. And that it's tough for me to take the challenge again, to continue and to be aware of and to be sure of myself, like, okay, Monique, go on, continue, and go live tonight. And you can always say to the dear people there, I'm not going live because I'm too tired, or I'm quitting earlier with the live stream. And I was also planning like, well, then I will do a more lighthearted live stream or chatting with you, because as many of you know, I do love going live. I do love the live stream and being with you. It has become really dear to my heart, the contact with you, and it's very special to have contact in a way, like via chat and so on. By the way, also welcome everyone on Trovo, and thanks Barry for the space fuel. I also threw in some space fuel earlier today, and also thank you for the followers on Trovo. And did I greet everyone on Twitch, of course, and on both my YouTube and on my Facebook. And yeah, cross-posting is not always working when I'm doing that with both my YouTube channels. So it's one of or the other. That's what my Prism streaming app is deciding for me. So, well, it is the way it is. That's live in a live stream. Yeah, so this swing door. Thanks so much again, Yvonne, for the translation. So I only have now 2 doors of that swing door, 2 parts now unraveled and to the surface. What happens now is, well, to guide the one who uncovered for me this swing door, because that happened yesterday also in a walk, because I go for a walk every day, and that is very important for me in the deprogramming, and then with my dear friend, of course, here. And that's so healing to be outside. And yeah, I love walking. It's one of my most favorite activities, outside activities. So for me, it's not a punishment, which was in the early beginnings of my programming. Walking, I can say whole stories about the walking adventures I did to free walking, and that I would have some fun about it again in going for a walk. So maybe I will add that later on in this live stream. Maybe it does fit. To come back to yesterday. So before I did see this system, but the system was described because I talked innerly to a personality who was standing on top of this swing door. I know it's very imaginative descriptions what I use, but it's really what I see from within. And this is maybe good to know that programmers, basic programmers who choose, as you know, babies, toddlers for programming for MKUltra or Monarch mind control, or in other words, full mind control, they choose specifically little children as young as possible with a great capacity in the brains to create images, and that is very needed for mind control. And this is why many of the MKUltras are also in the creativity parts of like music industry, like dance industry, all the creativity, paintings, and so on and so on. So they have a very vivid creativity. And that is a part of why I was chosen as well. So I literally see that then with my imagination, but it is a real system. But of course, in that system, if I meet a personality, then the personality is aware of that she is part of a system. But she's not aware of me. So yesterday, when this part came forward, who was standing on top of that swing door, she was holding her hands up like trying to get me out. So imagine, I used the word skyscraper, and I went now to the bottom of the ocean underneath that skyscraper, and that top, that fundament floor, and there was that now tumbling door. I'm now again, that swing door. And on top of that swing door stood a personality who was holding her hands like this to keep up that skyscraper. And it's very roughly described, but I hope you can still follow me in my story, what I try to explain. That whole imaginary inner world in me is reality. And at the same time, these personalities, when they came forward or come forward, I say came because I healed for the majority of percentage in me. I can feel that, because otherwise I would lose time and I would have run out of this residence here with my dear friend. I would know I have lost time. So I know I freed my core. So that is a great consolation for me, by the way. And as well for me, motivation to continue, to get again deeper, because there's one thing what I do know. I have one goal in life, to be fully free, because I did not deprogramming all these years to give up, and that is part of why I, by the way, am not even thinking about want to end end my life. No, I invested too many years, and my dear friends here as well, and my beautiful man in America too. He invested too much effort in helping me, and I'm very much aware of, if I want to leave this life, I would not honor them, all the input. So I know that. But to come back to that personality who stood there holding up that skyscraper, which represented me in the here and now, she did not know about me. So I was totally like, who is that? But she was aware of that she was walking in a body. And then while walking, and a dear friend is then talking to this personality, and then that personality starts to become aware. And by the way, I, as ego at the background, in the mind, it's all in the mind, but it is a reality. I hope you can still follow me, because this is why it is so difficult to explain what is MKUltra. This is why I believe why so many people have an idea of that people with multiple personalities are crazy or have a mental disorder. No, I refuse to call myself mentally ill, because I lived my life always with full awareness of what I did in the personalities I was in. So I'm very, I think the best thing to measure that is to be capable of reacting to action, if you know what I mean. I think that could be a sign of that it is, that it is a certain balanced way of responding. But yeah, it's very hard for me to explain how that works. But I also really realize that when I describe, for example, how an inner system looks like, that it sounds maybe weird, and I understand that, and I have to tell myself, like, Monique, this is not for everyone a daily thing to have inner, that you see innerly things, and other people see things from within, or have a senses of a certain feeling. It's actually the same when you feel something, when you are in a certain environment and you get a feeling of, hey, I have a déjà vu feeling, or hey, I have some feelings of that I like it here, or I don't like it. Well, it happens to me that I have a creativity which creates and is being influenced as well by the programmers, and increased this capacity to create my inner imaginary world. So, and it's hard to explain that imaginary world has real personalities who are, when they are in life, then they do what they were programmed for, if you know what I mean. So this personality was always withholding me from this basic wheel, or this basic four-parted door, this swing door. And now I have two compartments of the swing door in the here and now. But now the journey starts, like, where are the other two parts? So now what I do then is, that I for me, it's the Creator God, which is important influence to me and gives me energy. And I put it then in the Creator's light, or in other words, the light of the unconditional love, or the source of unconditional love for everyone. That's of course individual. And because of that light, it's literally like now in that bottom of that surface, with that door there, that with the light, then things can unravel, and I am curious what will happen. It is possible that suddenly that whole system will open, and that I'm suddenly being confronted with incredible traumas, or maybe programming, or maybe I am finally now digging up my aviation memories, like what I mentioned also with what I try to open up with the Skyglass app, which I'm so grateful for, to be capable of using that app. That is amazing. And I so crave for being complete, because I realize as well, when I am complete, I think very logical as well. When I'm complete, then I radiate that as well. And I am not going to now talk about how I, for example, could fly a plane, or could fly in space with all these several spacecrafts, without fully remembering what I did and who who I am in that. And I also would notice that when I would do a live stream, and I notice it myself, that I then reach borders in what I can tell about being in space. And I really have my goal in when I fully recall and I can fully live and feel who I am, then I will radiate that. And I'm so looking forward to tell you exactly this is how it looks like in space. This is what I experienced from space and looking down to Earth, or looking. What the images I have of Earth is also, or from remote viewing, that I'm then on another planet, or another colonization, or in another dimension, or I have very vivid memories of that I go through travel portals and all kinds of portals, by the way, also who are on Earth. But of course, I'm craving and looking forward to talk to you as full person, fully remembering it. Because I have the feeling that it will then a more fluent story. And now I only am grabbing out of what I recall, and I only want to do that because I want to stay pure to how I really experienced it. So, and now I talk about this, I get again a bit that vibe of, well, I do look forward in that. So maybe it is that by doing this live stream that it is already healing. And that I feel motivated to, So actually, my dear, my deepest wish, heart wish, is doing a live stream and then talking to you as a whole personality, with everything I know, and then I will tell you how Earth looks like, and I know how Earth looks like, but they are all details, and maybe you noticed that also in my live stream. Some memories I can recall and tell as a whole, and other things there are only short memories or short flashbacks. So, I'm curious how this all will unfold. So, Jos, whenever an evil spirit approaches me, I always feel a cold shiver over me. I recognize that, and I talk about it a lot of times about, for example, Harry Potter. I think I can say that name. Everyone knows these books, and I'm very mixed about it. There you have the Dementors, and that is also that then there is a shiver and a coldness. And that's true. And I feel, by the way, also shivers, but it's not specifically cold, but other shivers. It's like what we call Netherlands, like chicken skin. That's literally translated. How do you translate kippenvel in English? Hello, Marco. Ah, so nice. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome back. And thanks. So, now I lost my train of thought. Goosebumps. Oh, yeah, of course. Goosebumps. Thanks, Barry, for translating. Oh, meine Güte. Well, the eating disorders, to come back to that. And for tonight, I really decided I will not mention too graphic details, so not horrific traumas, but I more wanted to highlight because I bumped also into this system, and again being confronted with eating disorders, and it's literally an inner fight. And I understand, I said it also to my dear friend when I was doing my walk, like I understand why already in 2006 I heard from an inner personality who then already came forward like the eating disorders are life-threatening if they are being released. And I lately have to think about it again, like that I start to realize on a deeper level, maybe on the deepest level, that my programmers put in my basic system and grid, my dangerous zone, a system like with other MKUltras, for example, have suicidal layers or have a certain getting addicted to alcohol or also get addicted to sexual activities. Then I say it in a neat way. And I have these eating disorders and they really are like an inner monster, as I said. So I think I will have a lifetime maybe to fight off every time these and I'm very honest about it. If I, for example, see someone who's slim, I keep a bit away from. For example, sometimes YouTube gives a feed, and it's no coincidence maybe that today I bumped into a YouTube channel, or there came in the feed came someone who was heavily anorexic, and extreme anorexic, and she is a very famous YouTuber. And then I have to really be careful not to have a certain admiration for her. And then I also went away from that. But it's interesting that she popped up on my YouTube feed, or YouTube is with the AI using the keywords, of course, of my live stream. That's possible. I'm not sure, maybe someone knows that, but in my feed that came by, and I think her name, I will not mention any names. I'm not someone who mentions any name, because it's anorexic is awful. It is a certain disease. Eating disorders is a certain disease, and I call it rather an inner monster, which I have to fight off now and again. And connected to these eating disorders is that hello Tineke Jessie, welcome. Oh, you're not that very late. It is, it's already almost 8:30, wow. With these eating disorders, I wanted to more go in depth with you in how did these personality systems look like in my world map. And connected to what I now dug up, I felt like, well, I will more explain how that works, but specifically certain personality systems. And it's connected, by the way, also to melody, so music. So I make a bridge, a connection to the music industry and music as well. For example, my eating disorders layers, I had so many, so many. But for example, ice cream, an ice cream car. Many of you might maybe watch television series or television movies or movies in which you hear a certain ice cream car coming through the streets, and then you hear that a bit of a tune, and that tune looks like a music box tune. To me it occurred that it's always a tune like that. Also here where I live, And when it's really hot, then sometimes comes an ice cream car by, and then I hear a certain nursery rhyme, but it is like a music box, that type of music. It's very high toned, and you know how it sounds like. Well, that is no coincidence why it's being put in a movie. With televisions and monitors and so on are actually a big black magic box, of which it is also hypnotizing, by the way, to watch a black box all the time. It has got to do with the chess layers I will talk about later. No coincidence, by the way, that in the Harry Potter books also you have a giant chess board with chess pieces. That is no coincidence either. So, and that in Star Trek has been used a 3D chessboard. It's not coincidence either, but that is connected to the Enochian chessboard, and that is connected again to my military part, of which I have not yet integrated and dug up. So I hope soon, very soon, to tell you all, hey, I know how to fly in a plane. And I know how exactly that works. Yeah, I say it laughing, but oh gosh, I come out of such heaviness and tough days. Oh man, and it's the feeling is I don't want to live, but underneath there is that Monique who never gives up on love, and that Monique who has contact, who loves her dear man and loves dear friend here, and that other man who also helped me discover love. So I will never ever let go. I will never ever end my life. But it was these last couple of days again so tough. Delftje, in my town, the ice cream truck has a Efteling-like song, like in the Land of Love. Well, exactly. It is a kind of a tune. Well, this tune, it is no coincidence, and the relationship to this TV box or the TV screen, like the literal first television sets. And I've watched, by the way, before the television sets were put in the world, I've seen through a certain library of history of mankind and history of Earth, but also in my time travel and so on, and in the dimensions, that when the television was released in the world, it was literally like a box. And actually, it is a hypnotic device that the frequencies were, and it is actually being created to, even in grown-ups, to reach an inner childlike feeling. And that's that trance state, of which a lot of people talk about it already for a lot of years. But that is actually what is in the radiation of these television boxes. It was meant and put in the world in the hope that then the programmed world would reach all inner children. And it sounds maybe crazy, but it is then meant to be soothing for the inner child and to reach the inner child brain in everyone. And I'm not the only one who says that, and I say it in my own words, I explain it in my own words, but maybe you understand what I mean. And this is why it is always, I believe it is unhealthy to continuously stare into monitors. So I really have to also tell myself, okay, now I'm doing some piano playing, or now I'm going outside, and so on and so on. But and by the way, I did see many advanced television screens. There is now already a stage of that television monitors and television screens are now being displayed on walls, or even already that you see now these holographic images. And I saw that already also when I was off planet. I did see already as well television screens, and it was being held up by little bubbles, like transparent bubbles, like literally like soap bubbles they looked like, and that I had to touch them with my hand, and that I could could in that way could then steer or could enlarge the screen or move it, and that is already there for so long, and now I see it already being realized in the world. So where a lot of things are now being released, which is also nice, because I also love, by the way, the technical advances and technical stuff and engineering, and I'm watching at the moment all kinds of engineering YouTube videos, and also about that submersible. I still want to do maybe a live stream of what I saw with my clairvoyancy in that submersible. And I'm not sure if I should do that, because there are 5 people gone, but I have my own view on it. And I was used also for my clairvoyancy in the deep state to search people in water, and like in swamps and so on. So I had already, in the same week that submersible disappeared, I had already images and contact with one of these 5 persons who were, in my opinion, on Wednesday still alive. And then that's the sad thing. I have my own opinion about that, but that is maybe for another live stream, or maybe for later on. I'm not even sure if you're interested in that, but yeah, it's maybe it is good to one day to talk about it, or to at least express what I witnessed in that, and it could be interesting. But I'm always thinking about the family members of these people that I did not mention that in details yet. So, Tineke Jessie, I hear that these 2 are also evil, Mr. T and Mr. J. Oh, yeah, well, those are other persons, but I will stay to my subject. But I understand you, Tineke Jessie. Oh yeah, to come back to these ice cream wagons. So that tune which is being played is also typically to ease down and to reach in grown-ups also that child state, so the brain part. So I believe that when you would make, for example, a brain hologram or brain, so that the brain would be shown, that then that part of the brain would be activated, which is the childlike brain part, and that ice cream then takes care of as well. That ice cream is then combined with the tune, and then creates the inner child want to have that ice cream. And for me, that tune, by the way, that inner tune was a heavy, deep programming in many of my eating disorder layers. Another very high-toned instrument was the triangle. Like that triangle thing, which you have then with that little stick, and then you do ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I always wanted to do. Well, triangle was a perfect instrument. Why? It had the shape of a triangle. The triangle is a beloved subject and symbol for the programming as well, because then you have the threesome and the holy threesome. So het heilige drietal. So the holy threesome, like now I lost it. Well, you have the holy threesome. I cannot now pronounce it. It's maybe my tiredness in my head. So that triangle was being used as well in my eating disorder worlds. Well, one of the biggest worlds in me, there is a world which was called Milky Way. And Milky Way, as you know, Milky Way is also a candy. Well, Milky Way was once, when I did eat still refined sugar, that I loved eating Milky Ways. And Milky Way is, of course, also a Milky Way, like you know, that starry Milky Way, what you see in certain spots on Earth in a really good way. But this Milky Way was like that, but it could be connected to that candy, and that Milky Way was connected to the rainbow, a rainbow road, and that rainbow road was again connected to the Wizard of Oz, so the yellow brick road, of which the apple was an important symbol as well. So the programmers put then codes in my personality grids if they wanted to reach, for example, the eating disorder programmed layers in me, which were, the majority of them were all, little personalities and maybe teenagers, but the majority were very little. Because, children are the most, how you say that, can be the most hypnotized of being shown like, oh, you have this nice food or this like snack or this candy like thing. And that the apple was important and that apple could be red or green. And I still have an issue with apples. For I'm so significant in eating apples. I have only 2 favorite apple, how do you say that? Certain apple types. That's the Granny Smith, and the other ones is the red ones. Well, they're very juicy and solid. And if an apple, for example, is a bit grainy, has a grainy texture and taste, then I cannot eat it. And with apples, I went on and off with apples. Then I loved apples. Then I couldn't stand the apples. And then I did only 1 bite. And then the other I threw away. I feel ashamed now. There are so many people who are hungry in all these third world countries and everywhere. There are people who are hungry. So I feel a bit guilty about that I threw away so much food because I switched into personalities. But at the other hand, I also did not eat a lot of food because for example, in all the deprogramming years here in this residence, I don't eat that much. It's not to combine it with hey, you should not eat much, but or that I should connect it to that is that guilty feeling of I threw away food. But what I threw away was specifically then that I then took a tiny bit of the food and then put it away. And a lot of times with, for example, when I drank some wine in the Dutch front life, then I took a few zips and then when I was a guest at a party or something, and then I did a few zips and then I squashed it in a plant. So I hoped I did not make the plant drunk. Does that exist, by the way? That plants get sick of being thrown into with alcohol? Oh, I feel ashamed. It is really the truth. I did that, and I did that also in my programmed monarch slave programming, by the way, that I did as that it was all faked, that I had to fake that I was drinking alcohol because I was not allowed even to drink alcohol. And still I feel that border, which I feel great with that because I can only drink, if I drink a glass of wine, I don't do that each day, but if I would decide to do that, then it's a tiny glass or 2 tiny glasses at the most. And if I want to take a third one, which my dear friend is sometimes challenging me, because she knows that it was a form of programming, I never can take another one. So I think it's also an advantage because it prevents me from getting addicted to alcohol, and it's never good. Everything what is too in an exaggerated way is not good or healthy. So that is a remain of my program, which is still left. Thanks, Tineke Jessie. Yeah, I will look at it later on. Thanks on Twitter. Yeah, I will look at it later on. Tineke Jessie, what's the what's the animal on our food products and drink? Is that true about the change? Well, already years ago I heard about that, for example, some brand made fresh juices. And that I heard that there were these, you see, that is the blockage, that's the block in my mind, but that these unnatural I always know that word. I cannot pronounce it, but that it was put in the orange juice and that it creates the same taste as orange juice, but if it gets particles, which when it enters in your body, then it reproduces and it will never go away. But I'm not sure if that's the case. But that's what I heard already years ago. Sputniki, poor plants. Yeah, poor plants. Yeah. Can plants be drunk? I don't think it's really healthy, but yeah, it was taught by the programming. And for example, speaking of the bread programming of that door, what I know that these segments, these two segments, what I'm now trying to free and to integrate, of which the other two I still do not see what they represent. Yeah, that's the bread. Oh my gosh, the bread programming. I was allowed only to eat one bun, a bit of cheese, and one apple a day. So there you have again the apple, bread, and cheese were the heaviest, I believe, programmed. But in the deprogramming, I every time go back to bread and cheese because that's simple. And for some reason, this bread and cheese is at the same time in the here and now in my deprogramming that I will not totally not eat. So it is very bizarre. My eating pattern is very bizarre. Of what I eat in all these years of the deprogramming, that is, maybe a few buns or one meal of spaghetti, and then with some or vegetarian meat or fish and some vegetables, and that's it. And that's a bit, or cracker at the evening when I'm sitting with my dear friend outside, and then I always feel limit yourself, Monique, limit. So I understand that I still am now digging up this again an eating disorder programming, but I hope it's my root programming of the eating disorders, and that I can finally really enjoy in a daily way my meals, because my whole deprogramming years here, well, it is of course, I have not a normal life. Despite this deprogramming, I have not a normal life. For example, if I wake up, then I always have to think about, it's this and this time of the week, this day of the week, because we are here living with the three of us together, and the two of us, my dear friend and I, we have our way of living together, that we have our own space. So we honor that, and that is why it is such an incredible formula that we live together, but we want to honor each other's spaces. So if the dear friend has to go outside in the week, in the midweek, for example, then we made an agreement to each other that I would not go downstairs before 7:30. And in the beginning years of my deprogramming, when she had a lot of work, and then, for example, then I was from 5 o'clock already on my bedroom, and I was only past 8 downstairs. So when I was earlier awoken, then I just did not go downstairs. That was an appointment what we made. So it is, and it has been never a normal, what is normal, a living structure together. But we were so and are still so focused on healing, the both of us. So I give her healings, and also friends and family, and I love healing, doing my healing work. And she provides me with, that I can live here under her roof without having to deal with being forced to go into work, or, and I'm independent from the government. And I'm very honest in that, because it's the truth. I am independent of the government, and that feels great. That is a great feeling, because that same government helped me in the programming as well. So now you understand better how this living together is not the easiest, because of the schedule what I have daily. every single day. I'm not going downstairs before 7:30 in the morning. And I am every late afternoon going upstairs to give my dear friend the space that she can prepare her food, her dinner, and then afterwards we go for a walk or before that. So there are variations in that, but that is my life. And I choose for that. I've chosen for that, and but then you also understand how I crave for a bit more normal life, going out and live my life again. Oh, that would be the day. And you understand? Only the idea of that I can have a full week. Oh, I can wake up and go downstairs and go outside and just listen to the birds or go for a walk. So, but it motivates me incredible to, yeah. Oh, the Nightbot is warning you, Nobby. I'm sorry, but you cannot. You cannot. Uh, oh, yeah, you don't know that Nobby's lab, but it is about that. The toss on Twitch is pretty strict, so that you know that everything. Yeah, I think it's awful as well, an awful rule, but that everything what's connected to the vax and with that that is yeah, vulnerable for Twitch to keep to yeah. I cannot find the right words for it. Barry would always have a right words for that, but I cannot make a good summary for it. But it would go against the toss on Twitch. So it's not about you that you know that. That's why you got that warning. Jos, our DNA is the footprint of our existence that you inherited from your parents. Oh, that's towards Tineke. I'm sorry, Jos. You cannot be English here either. You cannot be English here either. I don't get that. They allow UK Soviets though. I don't think I understand it very well. But maybe if you like to, for me to react, then I love to hear that. Nobby, another word type. Oh, it's 10 to 9. Let's have a small break, and I will grab myself fresh hot tea. And I will also maybe put on some lights, extra lights. Mr. Brill, G is crazy, of course. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world at the moment. A lot. There is something in the air, I believe, coming months. And also for the dear people on Trovo and on my second YouTube. I always say it one time in my channel and on my channel. Please follow, subscribe, like, is much appreciated. You keep me being noticed by YouTube, and my goal is, yeah, I know it's a grand goal, but I really truly hope one day, maybe when I'm old and grey, that I will have reached 10,000 subscribers. But that would be the day. That is my goal as well, and for the mission of freedom, my own freedom, but that of the world. For every single being, that every single being can be free, is free. That is my mission. Nobby, viewer geolocation only has UK, Soviet, no England or Wales either. Ah, right. Okay, that's good to know. I did not check my viewer geolocation. I will head for the... I did not even put on Twitch. I will look at that. And meanwhile, we go for a break. Delge, I say no to evil. Yeah, I say no to evil. Oh. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. But maybe, Nobby, you did not even mean the geolocations. But on Twitch, it shows only the Netherlands and Belgium. If you mean that, that is weird. Yes, Tineke Jessie. Well, that's a great statement to individually, yeah? And I'm not calling up for anything. Did I hear now an echo or? I hope not. Okay, we're going for a break. Nobby, it shows the UK, whatever that country is. Well, interesting. I see only the Netherlands and Belgium. So Netherlands and Germany. No echo, thanks, Yvonne. I will grab my tea and we're going for a break. Okay, I did make a streamer, so well, I will play some music. And by the way, I am glad that I went live. You see how surprising it is. It is so surprising. I'm still flabbergasted by that I could go live tonight. So a bit of music and I'll be back. Just a joke. All right. Short break. And I see 1, 2, 3. Not enough source or link to it. I don't get it. Barry, did you want to try out something on YouTube? Or is the stream has a stutter? It's possible too, maybe. Yeah. Hello on also YouTube too. Monique Wallace too, I mean. Welcome everyone. Hello, yeah, I see you on Monique Wallace too. I see one watching now, and that's me, I guess. Well, there are the subscribers there. A lot of them watch later on. So, and I'm still not sure if Tuesday is a real handy evening. I'm not sure. No echo. See, okay. Thanks, Barry. Yeah. Oh, on YouTube. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Okay. Devonshire, my 17-year-old cat Dusty says meow. Ah, 17-year-old. Ah, that's sweet. Nobby, I understand. You're driven to tell your truth, and yeah, I don't. Maybe you can explain it, Barry, in a way, but it is, um, yeah, this is for now not really about politics, but I understand you. I understand your anger, your emotions about it, and I have my opinions about it too. And in the live streaming, it is now that is this world as well. That yeah, I have to be careful about toss and names and so on. Yeah, that's the world of today. That's okay. Well, I maybe it's good that I this is new to me, Nobby. So it's good. When I will rewatch the stream and then look it up because this is interesting news, interesting data, interesting info. But I have to. I feel that is another subject for me to focus on. But I'm really interested. So maybe you can explain it through whisper what is really going on, and then it's not in this live stream. But I understand that it's weird, but I still don't really get it. But it is because I'm in another subject, of course. I hope you understand. Okay, so well, there was a short stream, short break. I mean, yeah, I'm of course feeling again now the tiredness. That's a lot of times when I do a break, then I'm actually tired. So if I continue my story, then it might be better. But yeah, I also needed to put again new tea for me, hot tea, and not forgetting to drink my hot tea. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, about these eating disorder, these systems. So I talked about the Milky Way system, rainbow system. By the rainbow are ribbons, so that would be perfect for the programming. And candy has a lot of color coding. Candy has a lot of colors. And for example, you all maybe recall I think it's only glucose, these tiny little candy hearts, and then you have a message on it. Well, perfect for programming MKUltras. So even with the message on it, sometimes these candies in certain colors, and that were mostly free of these hearts candy with a message on it, and then the programmers, and then the one who wanted to put a personality up in me who was related to candy programming and candy triggers, then it's not only that, for example, these free candy hearts are being shown. No, it goes together with, at the same time, a code word or a code and a code gesture. At times it could also be a little card, or that someone would wave in front of my eyes, or I again wanted almost to say his name, like a white rabbit, for example. He kissed my forehead, or he stroked my forehead in a certain direction. So there has to be a combination of at least 3 to 4 triggers part of this code. Otherwise, someone would accidentally trigger a personality. And that would not be handy always, as you maybe understand. So this is why it's being built always, this coding, in at least 3 parts, and has to be done at the same time. So these candy hearts were in. By the way, they were my favorites when I still ate candy, and if I was allowed to eat candy, because as you know, I was hardly allowed to eat candy. So it was a total chaos in my life, in the front life as well, because a lot of the candy I was given. Do you recall these necklaces, which had these little, also glucose, only very unhealthy, sugary, of which you had these necklaces and bracelets, which you could eat. Well, I see them a lot of times as well in television series and movies. And that is done because programming is also built on these candy chains, candy bracelets. I think I've seen them also in the USA, for example. Yes, we have to be careful that the hand money will not disappear. They want us to go. Okay, that's about bank account and so on. All right. Marco, snoepketting. Yeah, they call it in Dutch snoepketting. Exactly. And it was one of my favorite candy. Another candy what was used also I had such an extended eating disorder. I call them now eating disorders systems. There was even in certain Lego games, for the ones who do play or maybe have seen these Lego games when maybe grandchildren or children have played them. But there is that you then with a wand, for example, can... hello, new follower, welcome! Jan van de IVG. Maar dankjewel, welkom. Welkom hier in deze welcome in this loving community. I almost wanted to speak Dutch, but it is the English broadcast for tonight. And that these, in these Harry Potter, for example, also the Harry Potter games had it, but also Lego Worlds, I believe, but many of the Lego games, they have that you have with a wand or with a certain formula in that game, and then you have to let appear clouds, and these clouds are then flowing in the air, and then the rain starts to fall. Well, that is one of these programming also in my eating disorder personality grids. And with personality grids, I mean that one of a system like the rainbow system or like the Milky Way system, that they had a lot of personalities and they were almost always little child personalities. Then to come back to these ribbon, like the rainbow ribbons or the rainbow, the rainbow was also a personality system, and you have the sour candy, and they look like mats, flat mats. I almost wanted to say they look like yoga mats, but then very smaller. And you have these sour things which you can peel off, and then you have some threads. Well, the people in the Netherlands know them as well, I think, as licorice. So that was with creativity, of course, very well built by the programmers. And that is why almost every candy is polluted in a way that almost every candy, if I would eat it, because fortunately enough I did let go of sugar, and the word sugar rush. Sugar rush was also programming code term for heading for a sugar rush, and then there it would be. Then I would enter in these caramel. Huge. That was all inner system of caramel and toffee. Is toffee a word for that candy? Toffee, which you had also, I believe, in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Well, I did talk about that also in the live stream, but in another live stream. And Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were, that was an important system as well. And with the head was a programming. The wand of because Charlie, not Charlie, but the how do you say that? The factory, the factory leader with the hat and the wand and the cane. Well, those two are important triggers for programming as well, because a lot of my basic programmers often a while also had a wand or a cane, and specifically also the monarchy. You see that also with the crowning rituals, that they wear, that they have to carry that wand as well, or cane. And a lot of times I was witness, and I had to witness, and I was in the programming in rituals, of which then the majority of times also people from the monarchy, that they then put 3 times with this cane or wand 3 times. And there you have again the 3 times coding. The 3 times can be a spell, doing 3 times. Like knock on wood 3 times. So I myself try to prevent pronouncing 3 times a certain word or doing 3 times a certain thing. So I try to avoid that. Another thing, what was, maybe that sounds weird, was connected to the eating disorder worlds in me, was a game, and I played it a lot in the front life. And that game was that you have with crayon at the street, then you were sketching like a game in crayon, and then with numbers, and then you had to throw in a certain box. Well, I filled it with sand, and it had a bit of weight, but it could be everything. And then if that certain object would land in a certain square with, for example, the number 6, then you have to go on 1 foot and jump to that number. Well, that is maybe it has a term for it. I always, here we go again. I always know in English the term for that nursery game, and now I forgot it. So, and for everyone who just maybe bumped into this live stream, I occasionally cannot recall English descriptions or words for Dutch words which I normally always know, or the other way around. And I accepted it that it happens. And it is it has a word, hopscotch, hopscotch. Yeah, it has a word in English. Maybe also as well. Nobby from England maybe knows it. Yvonne, Willy, Willy Wonka. Yeah, of course, Willy Wonka. That was that one. And Jos is making another cappuccino. Well, don't bounce too much, Jos, from the caffeine, huh? Oh boy, I could take a cup of coffee, but I have my tea. Wait, I have to grab my tea. Yeah, before it's getting too cold. But it is also connected to. I sometimes think like if I stop talking, then it's too boring, you know. But a little break in taking a sip of my tea, that's totally unhealthy and totally normal, human. Hopscotch, ja, Delvertje, hopscotch, exactly, hopscotch. And that crayon, by the way, überhaupt crayon, there was also a cartoon series, was also broadcasted in the Netherlands, which you see then a little puppet, and it was a horizontal white line. And then in that line then appeared a little guy, and that guy did then short animations. And I loved that art. It was a simple way of the art, but I loved that art animation. Well, crayon in white was that the to confuse me with what is candy or not, or snack or not, with specifically the white crayons, that the programmers at times even swallowed the crayons, and then I had to have the feeling that I was shocked because that they would eat that white crayon. Well, in the programming, and again a lot in movies, or well, when you're, for example, at school, well, in my time that was still crayon was being used. If you write with crayon on a board and you push too hard, what do you get? That awful screech sound. Well, I talked earlier about and melodies and connected to candy. And this screech sound on the board, in the school board, that was also used for the programming to create in me child alters who would scream, but scream so loud that they become numb and that they became voiceless. So, and then and I found it so bizarre almost that when I did read the Harry Potter books, because I wanted to read it because there were too many things which were put in my system. That in the Harry Potter storyline, you have these screech animals that they have to be put in pots of plants, and then they stop screaming. I forgot how they were called, but and that screaming, and that was incredibly triggering for my inner child personalities who were still stuck in these eating disorder grids and systems. But they were learned to not scream any longer, and that it was related to the horrific, also the traumas I talked about last Saturday and last Tuesday, because it's all, of course, to put away the hurt and to have being forced to witness all these extreme, horrific things I had to undergo. Tidike Jesse, I saw there are more movies from the same name, War of the Worlds. Tidike Jesse, is it lemon tea? Ginger turmeric, if I say that well. That's very healthy. And green tea. So I have a beautiful mixture. So, well, these eating disorders, these systems, I also had gardens of which there was an apple tree garden, pear trees, and also were pineapples put in my system with connected to the eating disorders programming. And a pineapple, what is da 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 SpongeBob SquarePants. Even that television series, because I love that television series, but even that series has been used to create that in me, my deeper embedded personality systems would be triggered by the pineapple little house under the sea. and the captain. You see in the cartoon of SpongeBob SquarePants, you see then the captain that you see his little the sleeve and the hand. So, and then he comes forward full with the hand. Well, that shocked then these inner personalities. So the real world was filled with all kinds of triggers. And what is a lot in this world, in this daily world, is a lot of cartoons and eat and all kinds of foods and snacks and candy. And these are only a few examples. And then to come back to the Milky Way system, the Milky Way system was not only to put there also the eating disorder little ones, little personalities, as well as that in the Milky Way system there was a certain mechanism that if I, for example, I was starting to deprogram specifically from 2010, and that I then, for example, would hit another system which was not allowed to be opened. And I had that in the first years from 2010, that I thought I had reached a baby part or a core split, and that it was a fake core split, and that I saw then with my inner imaginary, but it was a real system, that I hit upon a baby part. So then I saw also literally a crying baby in my inner system. And then I tried to grab that inner system, and next thing later on, that inner baby was gone. And one time I saw it being put in a Delta flyer. And yes, the Delta flyer from the Star Trek television series, for the ones who know Star Trek. And this Delta flyer then took that baby part away. Well, sadly enough, it happened a couple of times, and it was specifically from 2011 to 2014, 2015, of which there I had the most of flashbacks and heavy eating disorders, all at the same time, by the way, in all these same years. I'm talking about between 2011 to 2015, that I could manage it even. I'm still flabbergasted by that I survived this. I say it in other live streams when I talk about my past with the eating disorders and in the deprogramming stages, that looking back what I did for weird behavior inside this residence, in these eating disorders programming layers, I cannot even reproduce that, how disturbed behavior that would have been for someone else. And maybe not even being believed because of that, what I said, like throwing away food or preparing food, and then another personality wanted to take over, and then that personality wanted to not to eat that specific thing. Oh man, I dealt with so much in the eating disorders. Or another example is that I, in a rare time that I went outside, and in later years I do go outside for a little shop in a supermarket nearby, but that I, for example, then found €1, and then I went in another personality to the supermarket to buy something nice for €1. And then was then present with my ego. But what I did then was, the power of deprogramming is to be that you are empathic to when a personality comes forward. So to not punish it or judge it, but to really be empathic to it and then guide this personality. So when that happened, then afterwards I told my dear friend here, well, this and this is what happened, but it brought me further into a deeper system. And this is how I also deprogrammed. And that is maybe also hard to understand, but a technique I used specifically in these most heavy years was to let that pattern go free in a certain way, and then guide it. very loving with much of my love. It's part of my self-love, of course, and to understand this part, what is going on, because if you might maybe come across someone who has MKUltra or Monarch or is deprogramming, then it's very important to really be empathic and to understand, even if a behavior is looking a bit weird or bizarre, then just with low voice, just ask, "Hello, how are you doing?" Only by that question, also if you feel innerly like I have a part in me which I did not know yet, I want to get to know it, and by an open question, ask, because you can ask open questions or closed questions. I'm not sure if that's the right English description, but if you ask open question in contact with others, then that's far more inviting for them to come back with a reaction. And if it's already a closed question, then someone else could already be being withheld from answering or really wanting to express what they think or what they feel. So it is always important, in my opinion, in my deprogramming years, to always be understanding to these personalities or to this part in yourself and ask, how are you doing? And my dear friend here does that as well, especially in the beginning of when I did the alternative therapy with her. And then I came forward, for example, with a weird behavior of eating disorders, of which many of them I still don't dare to mention how twisted my behavior was. One I can mention, for example, that chocolate is still for me very vulnerable. I still cannot eat a full chocolate piece. Even if I would get a tiny piece of a chocolate bar, then I would still try to only eat a tiny bit of a bite. And it is already a lot better because I'm open about it here. But what happened was, in these first years, was that I, for example, got myself a chocolate bar or a piece of chocolate. And then I only bit off a tiny piece of it, and then I would have always in reach of me a handkerchief, a paper handkerchief, a tissue. And then I would, and I was very handy in then putting the remain of the chocolate piece in the tissue and fold it inside. Oh, there are so many handy techniques to hide things. I learned so many tricks, and yeah, being creative is not always handy, because a lot of these personalities in me were so incredible intelligent to hide food tricks, even from my dear friend here. Oh, she encountered so many things in the eating disorders with me in these first years. But yeah, the power of her is not being angry. She never became angry. Never, ever. And she can be very clear if some behavior is not accurate, but she feels when I'm in my grown-up state, and of course last couple of years that goes better because I'm getting more whole and so on. So yeah, it is very, I'm very blessed with her to have as my dear friend here who guides me. And that is the power. So be empathic to if you see weird behavior. But it's a trick of many people with eating disorders to just hide and act as if you eat the full piece of chocolate. And what I did was, when I had that, I have to laugh. When I ate that tiny bit of chocolate, then I did as if I was still chewing that tiny bit of chocolate, because then it would have the idea of that I would have still the whole piece of chocolate in my mouth. And I was inside always thinking with my mind like almost like a formula, like a scientific formula. Like, oh yeah, if I had such a big piece, well, then I better do as if I'm chewing, because that's more realistic than, yeah, well, you know what I mean. So many tricks. Marco, by the way, what a nice flowery, happy plant you have there. Yeah, it is, huh? It is. I think so too. Yeah, I love the radiance of plants in a live stream. But thanks. Yeah, the colors. I think you mean this one, this cutie. It's a garden plant, but I don't always have flowers, and I wish I had flowers, but yeah, so I took that one from out of the garden, and after the live stream, I will put it back in the garden. Jos, my right hand is itching again quite a bit over my meridian line, so there's something to come again. There's something yeah, but Jos, yeah, there's certainly something in the air, as I call it. But yeah, I feel it already for weeks, but it gets stronger. So yeah, I'm very curious how this all will go. Yeah, but yeah, what a life deprogramming. I mean, I literally said today to my dear friend, it was again this morning. Like I don't know what I'm going to talk about tonight. I don't have any subject left, but I do want to go live. And as always, there is always something to talk about. Always something to talk about. As well, by the way, to come back to eating disorders, and to the eating disorders systems, lollipops. Lollipops was a heavily used programming candy, and also in movies and television series. A lot of times when you see a red lollipop and with the red coating a lot, or a child who's licking a lollipop, and there are other red color codings like red shoes, high-heeled shoes, or a red apple in that same scene, then almost for 99 percentage you can count on it that it's to program an MKUltra who's watching the television series or movie. And lollipops are heavily being used in the programming, and as well in my programming. Pizza. Yeah, pizza, sadly enough. Pizza as well. Another thing what I like to touch upon is unicorn. Is it not? It occurs to me that for sure since a few years ago that there were more unicorns everywhere. I hear the word unicorn everywhere. Maybe it is now lately a bit less, but I have now for sure last half year not watched really a movie besides from Avatar 2 in the cinema. But further on, I did not watch any movies. But it occurs to me that a unicorn is being used, and a unicorn is actually also a term being used and connected to trafficking also of children. And the bright colors when there is a unicorn in a certain cartoon, a television series, or a movie, which has very bright colors and magic and so on, then I would say for the MKUltras, be careful to watch that movie, television series. But for sure, maybe it could be interesting for everyone who's now watching my live streams for now. I'm always now, 2 years, twice a week live, that you maybe can now discover and uncover the connections or connect the dots that, for example, that there is at the same time being expressed a weird sentence, that you then also almost can count on it, that it is a programming coding for someone who's watching that movie or television series. And also the color lilac and pink. Well, pink, you have these sticky candy, which, they are very sweet. They are like marshmallows a bit, marshmallows as well. Oh, I can say everything about almost all food and snacks. What has been used for the programming. So yeah, gosh, I do feel the tiredness in my head, man, oh man. So I guess that other of the other two parts which I still have to dig up, that they are not surfaced yet. So I think I am triggering them, and I'm talking about these eating disorders. Well, of course, maybe I hit upon a sleep layer in me, a sleep system, because I have a hard time to keep my eyes open. So this is an example of, I think I hit a kind of a sleep programming, so that you know that I'm just very open about it. There was something else what I wanted to talk about. The Milky Way, I did mention. The rainbow. Oh yeah, the programmers called it Take the Rainbow Ride, or the Milky Way Ride. Well, how did I go to the Milky Way with the inner systems? There was an inner systems, I talked about already that it had an inner system which was consisted on horses and Pegasus horses. I had a golden Pegasus horse, a silver Pegasus horse, and all kinds of other colored Pegasus horses. But also My Little Pony, My Little Pony. Who doesn't know that cartoon? Or Dora, Dora, if you reverse the intro tune of Dora, I think it was called that cartoon Dora, then you hear, then you might be shocked about what is being said in the reversed thing. Because the reversed is used in the programming as well, also in these melodies. I talked earlier about these childlike melodies of ice cream cars and with music boxes. Well, a lot of, if it's built in pop songs, when you hear a specific part which has a music box melody, there's also, by the way, now I come across that I remember the ta 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 ta. That is a song which was used also as a melody in one of these melody boxes and music boxes, and that is being built in, and that combined with, for example, I had all Little Pony versions in my system, and these little ponies they did ride the rainbow, and it was also sexually, they were very sexually active, because that's what I forgot to mention, that the rainbow section in my eating disorder systems were specifically little personalities who were used for the sexual, the sex trafficking and for the sexual education, as my programmers mentioned that. Delvertje, like in MJ's Little Susie. Yeah, well, yeah. But I can for sure say that he was aware of deprogramming. He was aware of this MKUltra, and that's why he was so attacked. And I really defending him. I cannot say too much about it, but yeah, I just, it is the truth. I knew him in person. Yes, I knew him in person. It's there. And most of the people don't believe me, but I don't care. It is the truth. And that he was aware of MKUltra. And he did his best to help people out of MKUltra. He did his best in his songs to help people remember who they are and about their programming, to dig up their programming. I cannot say more about it, but yeah, I knew him personal. Hello, Luciana Sopranos. Also such a nice word. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, actually better than I initially thought when I went live. How are you doing? Thanks for joining here in the live stream. Yvonne, I believe you, you know. Yeah. Yvonne, I know I know, I know what you know. We know that. But it's, yeah, I have to be careful as well about mentioning that. But I always feel when I see MJ coming by, I want to defend him with my life. And I have my reasons for that. But yeah, I cannot go into that as well because it's complicated. My life is so complicated. Oh boy. This is why I hope one day the documents will be released about who I am and that I am true what I say I am. But maybe not. Maybe it will never happen and then I have to accept that too. But then the live streams are proof and that I have to accept it. But I will defend it with my life if it's needed. He is being done so wrong, and he's being. Maybe now you understand why he has been accused of these things, which is not true. It never was. He was a bit an enemy for the deep state, and not a bit, but a big threat to the deep state. And I hope that will. I know in the Netherlands that they don't believe these accusations, but it has damaged him so badly. And it's too private to talk about that, but it hurt him so much. I know, Yvonne. Thank you so much. I feel that. Thank you for the trust. Delftje, I like some of his songs, not so much the popular ones. Yeah, me too. And like Little Susie is one of my favorites, by the way. What I can disclose is that Little Susie helped me heal several personalities in me. Specifically with the music which has been chosen and the way he composed his songs. I can do a whole live stream of how he composed songs. But maybe there will be a time that I can talk more freely about it. And as I said, I might not be believed by the majority of people who hear this later on or now. But sometimes I feel so the urge to defend him. But yeah. Delft, your childhood is very beautiful and explains a lot. Yes. There's a lot of symbolism in his video clips. But he tried to expose the deep state. That's what I can say, because that is the truth. Jesse, I hear scary things in his voice from Mr. Noah H. Mr. Noah H. Doesn't ring a bell. Who's Mr. Noah H? And I feel that also. I'm sorry, dear Tineke Jessie, I cannot recall who you mean with Noah H, but... And I don't follow any news media things, so lately I feel a bit ashamed about it, except from Asia and China, but that I have my reasons for that too. So I am now very selective in what I watch, what's going on in the world. Yeah, maybe you can message it me, Tineke Jessie, what you mean. Yuval, she means. Oh, I still don't get it. There's maybe, but I miss a lot of the names, so. But it will be all right. We leave it. And by the way, I'm also getting tired, so I'm on my way to do a bit chatting with you, and I'm already very happy that I could say so much more than I initially thought. Hello, Flexibel, welcome. I mean him. Oh, him. You mean... Oh, you mean him. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will look it up, Tineke Jessie. But you can message me, you know that, or send a whisper. Yeah, I did that say that in live streams earlier. Like I have a history in my programming with people from other ethnicities, other colored skins, and it's ridiculous that there is being made difference to people. Certainly the deep state, but I was also ridiculized by it because the man I love and the man I still love was also African American. So yeah, it hurts me, when but to come back to the food like chocolate, maybe that is still why I feel not really good when I eat chocolate, because because it has the color brown, it was also being put in my systems, but also towards me to ridiculize my relationship, and at the same time also to ridiculize people of other skin color than the Caucasian color. Yeah, it's again ridiculous. Everyone is unique, and it's about what you are from within, not how you look from the outside. So, and it is purely connected to the relation to the sun, to the sun, and how you are exposed to the sun, and that it protects even better to the sun if the skin is darker. It's just technically also that. So, but yeah. Yeah, thanks, Tineke Jessie. Hak back, hè? So yeah, it is a difficult subject, but I am grateful and I'm happy that I did choose to talk about and that I did go live. By the way, danadurnford will be coming for part 4 in soon, and in coming weeks for part 4. Yeah, I'm still. I forgot to ask. I wanted to ask in the beginning of this live stream specifically, but there are more from abroad now. How is that in your countries? Is Tuesday better to broadcast or Saturday, or it doesn't matter? Because I want to try to then start later from 8 o'clock p.m. when Dana Durnford is here from Canada. And yeah, I'm still figuring out, should I try out on a Tuesday evening, which is the English evening. And I love streaming in Dutch on Saturdays as well. So, but to announce that already for the people who are used to be with me in the Dutch live stream on Saturday. So when Dana will be guest for his fourth part and talk about the nuclear industry, yeah, it's possible that I will choose for again Saturday evening, because that is the best evening what I heard of and what seems to be. So, and Jos, for the Dutch, please the Netherlands. What do you mean, Jos? For the Dutch, please the Netherlands. For the Dutch, please the Netherlands. You mean to keep it Saturday Dutch? It sounds, yeah, Saturday. Yeah, you mean Saturday, do Dana. That Dana will join in Saturday. That's what you mean? I love to get the feedback from you. Saturday, Flexibel. Ah, okay. But yeah, the Saturday is for me also practically better to organize, that I can start a bit later on that Saturday evening. Dus so. Yeah, I did it. I managed to live stream with now unraveling this new system personality system. And oh man, what it is hard inner work for. I did not meet anyone, by the way, yet who was inside a residence to do daily deprogramming for so long. I realized that now, that I'm pretty proud of myself, that I was inside the house and only since 2021 really starting live streaming, and before that I had a really small world, so that I could manage that, man oh man, or woman oh woman. That doesn't sound fine, like nice in. But I just say man, oh man. Oh gosh, yeah. I'm a bit babbling now, but I start to become tired, so maybe I will go early to a close off of this live stream. I'm not sure, but I love talking with you all, but I think I will leave the subject of the mind control. Unless, of course, you have to ask me something or have something to express or something else. How are you all doing? That's an open question. Closed question is, I'm sure you're doing fine, you all. That's a closed question. But I asked it open, like, how are you all doing? Yes, you are in a new spiritual level. I guess I'm entering. Yeah, I uncovered a new system. I'm on the verge of uncovering a new system. Yeah, I think so. That must be, because otherwise I would not see this new system. And I'm very curious if I will get flashbacks, or maybe it will go very smooth and very quickly. And as I said in the beginning of the live stream, I am craving for digging up my military past and the qualities I have from the military life. Not only just some little flashes, some pieces of the puzzle, but I want to have the whole puzzle complete. Yvonne, I saw yesterday an interview from a former MKUltra. Her name was Rachel. Oh, I think I saw that come by as well. Tineke Jessie, how are you feeling today? I'm very tired today. I'm sleeping every day. Not good. Oh, yeah, well, that can be a burden, yeah, if you want to sleep all day. But if your body needs it, and it's better to, of course, do that. But I'm doing fine. And I described, of course, my deprogramming, but I'm now feeling tired and sleepy. But it could also that I hit a sleep layer. Flexibel, well, ATM, I'm lowering the doses of some meds. Just started last Sunday. At the moment, oh, well, exciting, I can imagine. Well, I wish you very good luck with it. And good vibes. Delvje, I'm doing fine. I have a few days off my work, so I relax. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Well, I promised myself to relax tomorrow, so I promised myself to do a bit, playing games tomorrow. I didn't do that for a pretty long time, not really in a relaxing mode. So I was so busy with inner transformation, and I'm walking a lot more, so going out for a walk, but also the household, and then days fly by. And as I mentioned earlier, my day starts between 7:30 and then from late afternoon. So I have only a couple of hours in total to really do the things I want to do. So, but that's okay, because then I always have the feeling of, now my day went fast. So now you know why I have my schedule every day. Voluntarily. Yes, I'm always wide awake and take a nap or meditation around 12 o'clock. Mm. Yeah, the 12 midnight, you mean maybe, yes? Yeah, I don't sleep well lately, but Delftje, I have a dentist appointment tomorrow just to check. Oh, just to check. Okay. Well, that's not really relaxing, but that is a check that is a bit more relaxed. But yeah, the dentist is never my my way of relaxing. Never, never. I wish there was a way to do treatment at the dentist, which when it's needed, to have certain how say that to do something with the dentist. I wish there was a way, a painless way to do that without needing that awful poison. Oh, yeah. Ah, you mean 12 o'clock? Wide awake, yeah. Ooh, your last check was in 2014. Oh, oops. Well, I had my own experiences by not going to the dentist for so many years, but I had my traumas, and it was what is that called in English? Knarse tanden. So I was with my teeth moving my mouth in the night because of the stress. So my teeth got damaged. I still pity that I lost some of my teeth. Yeah. Luckily not my front teeth, but otherwise I would not have dared to go live streaming. And I'm still not really happy with sometimes in live streams I do see it, my missing teeth. But yeah, it's live in a live stream and live, real life, so. Delftje, there is not much left to check, but I try to keep the last teeth as long as possible. Oh, yeah, ooh, Oh, you had a timeout for your last text. Okay. I did not even see that come by. Yeah, sometimes that happens, Yvonne. I have also AI. Oh, stream elements. Stream elements is behaving weird, Yvonne. It is sometimes that happens. I have it too at live streams when I'm with live streams moderating at Barry sometimes even, but it happens sometimes. It's really weird. And by the way, Stream Elements does pretty well behave in my live stream, so but I'm sorry, Yvonne. It's the AI which did it, so. Yeah, Jos, you have a very nice week as well, and see you maybe Saturday, possibly Saturday. Day. Always nice to have you here, but that counts for everyone. Welcome, and also for the new follower, welcome. And I'm now heading for 5 followers to go, and I'm heading for 280 followers. But yeah, Yvonne did not say anything weird. Wait. There, someone messaged me. Ah, okay. Right. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. Oh, and now my ring light went out. That's a weird thing. Let that do. My ring light is weird. It's my ring light is not doing well. Wait. And I talk about it a lot of times, but my ring light is one of the cheapest ones, and I noticed that. So, and I will not say I will not say the brand, but it's I would not recommend it. If I would make a review of this ring light, then I would say don't buy it. Go for a bit more expensive quality stuff. Yeah. Now a bit bluish, but the other one doesn't work. Action? No, not Action. No, a certain Ali website from made in China. Nice, healthy green look. Yeah, it's blue, but this the other one is not. Oh, now it works. Aha! And you know, all these other live streams all have it in order, and I'm not. So, and that's me. That's Mo. That's me, Mo. Mo, me. Mo, me. Ali, made in Korea. Yeah, well, it's not the best. It's not the best, but it's okay. Yeah, flashing. Now a bit too yellowish, but well, oh, it's only less than half an hour. But maybe I will go to closure of this live stream, because I do love babbling with you all, but you have to like it as well, and otherwise it will be a shorter live stream than usual. And yeah. What can I say? I do remember that that someone was asking me about. I will scroll back about that alien, but I'm not sure if that one still is there. Who asked me a question about an alien? I have to scroll back, and now you hear that noise of scrolling back. Ah. And I also saw now come by where that demonstration was in the Netherlands, and it's now 2 hours ago. But still, thank you, Barry, for mentioning where it was, because I did ask where that demonstration was, but now I know. It's far too late, maybe, but. There was a question about an alien. Oh, oh yeah, that was from Foxy86. But I cannot find it any longer. Sometimes that is a blind spot that happens. I cannot. Also, Anja, that was also 2 hours ago, but I now see you. But I was, of course, distracted by the raid, which entered here in the house. Which I'm so happy that the raid notification works, because it does look nice as a welcoming to all raiders. Yeah, I lost the question about the alien, so. Flexibel. Aren't we all aliens? Yeah, our DNA. I hate it when scientists say that we have. How you say that in like a recycle bin, like we have DNA. No, we have DNA from all several species, and yeah, DNA is also beautiful. Delvertje, alien or alien. Yeah, that's a good one, Delvertje. There are different aliens, yes. And aliens, Tineke Jesse, you can just write it in the full word. There is nothing against the toss with the word alien. And I got the hiccups again. And now there was another one. Oh, I don't see that with other live streamers that they got hiccups. Or that a ring light collapses. With most live stream, yes, and most live stream has the most best Christmas light ever. And I do like it as well. So, why are the evils obsessed with our DNA? Well, they want to find the God codes, to find the secret of God. And in the DNA, there's a perfect, with that circular way, there is a basic fundament, scientific fundament as well. So they want to find the God codes, they want to become God. Told you, drink your tea, good for losing the hiccups, getting rid of the hiccups. Yeah, but my tea is cold by now, so maybe next time I have a little thermos cup for the coffee, for the take away cup of coffee when we're going for a walk sometimes. But now I realize if I put tea in it, then it's not nice for the coffee next time. So and I love my coffee in the morning. And I only limit myself to 2 coffee every morning. But I feel the caffeine cravings, want a 3rd cup of coffee. But I until now still managed to keep it at 2 cups of coffee max. So. And otherwise, I would only drink coffee all day. Yeah. Hey, it begins with a T, it ends with a T, and there is a T in it. Guess what I mean. It starts with a T, it ends with a T, and there's a T in it. Well, it's a good riddle, Flexibel. What? It's a good riddle. But maybe teapot. Oh. Yeah, I get it. A teapot. Yeah. Yeah, in English translated, it works as well. Well, do dear people have other jokes? Cute jokes? Nice jokes? That would be a nice closure to the live stream, the last 15 minutes or so. Yeah, well, it was very inventive, Flexibel, and I did not know that joke yet, so very well done. Because, yeah. Did you invent that joke yourself, or is it an existing joke? But maybe some other people have some jokes. And I'm watching a bit on Trovo. Welcome everyone who followed my space there, and space is being called there for channel. Thanks everyone. Delvetje question, why are bananas Curved. Well, that's a well-known one. And Flexibel says, no, in Dutch, there is a Dutch coming by. It is a well-known joke. Tineke Jessie, drunk from the tea or coffee. Flexibel, I have a brain fog, so my English is not good at the moment. Well, that's fine. I have a lot of these moments. I feel often ashamed about it because I talk about that I was so often in the USA and England and Great Britain, and I'm... Yvonne, I saw a bright light in the shape of an airplane, went to a small ball and then disappeared. Oh, that is interesting. Into nice little movies. Hey, I have to still understand what into means, but maybe I don't get it because I see now a lot of Dutch come by. But yeah, I keep it English, dear people. It's not that I don't want to talk Dutch, but for everyone who's rewatching this later on, suddenly is being confronted with Dutch. Flexibel, when they are straight, they rip out of their coat the bananas. Oh gosh. Oh, Deviltje, yeah, I get it. I was not even thinking about it, but I understand, yeah. Yes, airplane, it just happened. Oh. Well, as I said, I do feel, yeah, the coming months, I think, will be exciting for the world I hope in the positive way, but I think it will be some intense times. But I hope I'm wrong. And a mosquito, by the way, has bitten me here. Oh, it's annoying because we left the back door open, so for the fresh air. I think I will be heading for maybe a nice channel to raid. A mosquito really has bitten me on several spots. Even on my foot. I'm scratching now. Oh gosh. You should never scratch a mosquito bite, but gosh. Why were mosquitoes being invented? Do you all know that? Why were mosquitoes being invented? Because they're preying on the skins of people, That's I don't like that. So, dear mosquitoes, please change your DNA. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired and sleepy. Tineke Jessie, I see also more people out of the picture. Delvit, you put vinegar on mosquito bites. Yes, but I'm not going to do that at the moment now, of course, because then I will be out of camera, and I don't have my vinegar bottle next to me. Excuse for that weird stuff I said before. Wrong chat. Oh, yeah, I didn't get it into, so you don't have to do any apologies because I did not understand it. But maybe I missed the comments on YouTube because if I'm live, I'm best if I'm not all the time checking all these channels. I'm then better in my story thread. Flexibel, I have a solution for those mosquitoes. Mosquito trap. The mosquito lands on the salt, thinking it's sugar. They get thirsty for water, but the cap has tequila. Oh gosh, mosquito gets drunk. Oh gosh. Oh, that's cruel. That's a cruelty level, Flexibel. Into I had the wrong keyboard. Okay. That's fine. No, don't share that picture. No. Speaking of graphic content. Well, dear people, I think I will head for a raid. A raid. I'm checking on some channels which are live. Well, I saw Banana come by. Dana TV is now live and she has banana bread, shortbread. Oh. Oh wow, I get now a news, breaking news. US soldier crosses into North Korea, now in North Korean. There is now a soldier who is now in North Korea. Wow. Did you know that? I just see it. For everyone who's curious, look it up. Breaking news. And now I get more itchy over my whole body, so maybe there is a lot on the verge of happening. Yeah, Tineke Jessie, the time flies so very fast again. Indeed. Delft, this is a very good excuse for having a tequila. Yeah. Well, I don't like tequila, sorry. I'm not a fan of tequila. Delftje, what is banana shortbread? Shortbread is cake, zoals je cakejes maakt. En banana is cake met bananenprut. Cake with squashed bananas, I think. Squashed. Warning, graphic content, banana cruelty. Oh, suddenly that feels weird to talk about squashing bananas. Oh, gosh. I forget what all these live streams are doing. Yeah, maybe Dana TV, always nice. Because we were talking about food and snacks and so on. So I think I will rate her, Dana TV. She has now 14 viewers. And that's the majority of time she has a lot more. So... almost finished. Yeah, I will not make that risk of bumping into a live stream. Let us do the Dana TV. Another Dana. And soon we will have danadurnford again for his fourth talk about about nuclear energy. Flexible. I'm going to find my bed as my bed is not looking for me. Yeah, that would be handy, yeah? If you could whistle, hey bed, come on. But yeah, a bed is pretty big, of course, so that's not handy either. But I understand it. I sometimes have that too. I wish I could just snap with my fingers and then snap, and my whole studio would be cleared, and I would not have to hurry at 10:30 to and then because after the live stream I'm always half sleepy, putting away my PC and my studio corner. It's so yeah, I understand. But see you next time, Flexibel. Saturday, the Dutch live stream. So everyone, I hope to see you there, and still maybe hope to go live at daytime. But now you understand, since I bumped into that new system, that I did not manage to go live with my mobile, which is for a long time already my intention. All these good intentions, I have good intentions enough, but with the deprogramming, not always that I can live what I say and promise. So I apologize for that, but I hope to come live soon with my mobile in a park. Yeah, Bell, the whole bed with mattress and all, downstairs, upstairs. Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, dear people, for everyone who please come along with the raid. And thanks so much, Barry, if you're still there. Thank you so much for the raid. It was a great surprise, and for moderating and being here, and on Trovo and elsewhere. And see you all next time. And but also come along with me to the raid, please, because she's really nice, Dana. So, and everyone, see you next time. There I go again with my wavy hands. Bye bye, everyone. Ciao.